Sometimes we have to choose between the lesser of two evils. You hear this phrase a lot with politics when people aren't a fan of either candidate, but they, pick whichever one they hate the least, and that's the person they're going to go with. Now, obviously, that's not the best way to run things with politics or any aspect of your life, but sometimes when it comes to your health and fitness, we do need to make some of those choices of choosing between, two evils, which one's less likely to do the damage we don't want. I'll be the first to admit that this attitude is not a recipe for success when you're choosing the least of two bad things, but you can do some damage control in some situations. So when it comes to your health and fitness, think sometimes you might be trying to eat healthy and you get into a good routine, but sometimes, weekends can be difficult, especially when you're traveling and you're way out of your, you're not on your home court anymore and you're losing some of the power and control you have over some of those choices, or if you're going out with friends and they want to do something different or go to somewhere to eat you wouldn't usually. So there are times when we need to make some of those choices and try and minimize the damage when we're out. So if you're out with some friends and they want to go to McDonald's to eat, and maybe you're not a fan of that, but you don't have to sit there with them and eat a combo meal or supersize your food either. But if you want, you can just get something off the dollar menu, some of the smaller, cheaper items, or even a kid's meal. I know some people look down at that and laugh, but a lot fewer calories, a lot lower price, and again, it's about portion control. So that's one way to do it, is just to take some of the smaller items on there, smaller servings of things, and a kid meal is a good way to do that if you're gonna have to eat out. Also, if you're eating out, one thing that can be helpful is, sit down, order an entree instead of going to a buffet. When you have all-you-can-eat food, most of us have a pretty bad reaction with that, and we'll just eat way too much. We want to get our money's worth. Now, if you do go to a buffet, say for instance you go to a pizza pie cafe with your friends, one thing I've done recently that's helped me a lot is before I eat any pizza, I'll go to the salad bar and eat a huge plate of salad first, get full on some vegetables, things like that. Then I can maybe eat 2, maybe 3 pieces of their small little pizzas instead of the usual 6 plates that I used to do in the olden days. A lot of times when we go to those buffet type places, we get in this mentality like, I'm going to get my money's worth. It's time for competition eating. I'm going to see how much I can pack away to impress people. And it's never a good ending when we have that mentality. Another thing you can do when you're eating out, a lot of times you'll order something for lunch and it comes like as a combo thing, or it'll come with a drink. And there's not a rule though that says you have to drink soda pop if you don't want to. So you can still take water with that. You're in charge on those choices. If you're going with your friends to Wendy's, you don't have to order a Baconator. You can get some chili or a baked potato or something else. So something lower calorie, a little healthier choice. So again, when you go to those places, obviously they're not ideal for healthy eating, but they have some choices that are better choices than others. I remember years ago there was a book that came out, I think it's called Eat This, Not That, and they would basically feature fast food places and say these are your 10 best things, healthiest choices on the menu, and these are your 10 worst things to get. And that's kind of a helpful thing. I think they even have a website now where they have lots of information about stuff like that. But if you do find yourself in that situation, there are definitely some choices you can make that are better than others. So don't feel like all is lost just because you're out at a fast food place sometimes. One thing I like about a lot of fast food places today is the fact that when you look at the menu, you can see how many calories a certain food has, or a certain combination of foods have. It used to be you just kind of hope for the best, and now you can kind of see how much damage you're doing as you're placing your order. So that's one benefit of the fast food, that they're disclosing that sort of thing better than they used to. So when it comes to your health and taking better care of yourself and eating healthy foods and that sort of thing, there are times when we're going to have to take a detour. When some of the circumstances are beyond our control, maybe we're with a big group eating somewhere we don't want to go, or we're traveling. And so there are, certain choices we can make that are better than others in those circumstances. But just think of it, if it's a detour, think there's a couple ways we can react. We can just immediately, flip a U-turn, it happened, and then get back on track quickly. Then there's some people that say, I'll wait, 10 or 15 minutes and I'll take the next freeway exit and get off there and turn around. And then there's some people that say, hey, well, why bother anymore? They'll take the wrong exit and stay on there for hours and hours and hours. And that's when all the damage is done.
Huh. I expected the Rocky Mountains to be a little rockier than this.
So when it comes to your health and your fitness and your nutrition, there's always going to be times when we find ourselves, we've had to take a detour, we've gotten off track. But the key with this is to do minimal damage if that happens, get back on track as quick as possible, and make wise choices. When you finish eating out somewhere with friends, you don't want to be regretting it, but you want to be hearing this.
You have chosen wisely.
Feel free to share in the comments any food substitutions or any fast food choices that you make that you think are healthier ones that help you not go overboard or go too far in the wrong direction. Anyway, stay tuned for more videos and feel free to like and subscribe.